during the pandemic. Oh yeah, we doing all that and then some.
I think that's beautiful for sure. And like you mentioned, and Amanda, please feel free to jump in. Like today's students are going through such a turbulent time. Like I was fortunate enough to, go to school for 3.5 years and graduate seamlessly. But, in the pandemic, especially for those incoming freshmen and even sophomores through seniors who are, trying to finish up their school year while fighting depression, while going through anxiety, while trying to make sure that they don't catch COVID, now trying to make sure that they don't catch monkeypox. Now that everything's on social media, you can't escape what's being recorded and what you can see and what you can't see. So it's a really turbulent time for students right now. And I love to hear that UNCF is not only providing that financial support, but also that mental and emotional support as well.
You asked me, how do I feel about that?
Yeah, sure. Please jump in. And I also want to know as well, like everybody's definition of support is different, but what does support look like to you when it comes to supporting UNCF and HBCUs?
Well, what I'm doing right now is support. And honestly, I feel like when we see alums who are continuing to speak about their stories and speak about their experiences and why them going to an HBCU was the choice for them, I think that really is important, and it really helps to just illuminate for folks who didn't think that HBCUs were an option, that they are a viable option. I mean, truth be told, not every school is for everybody, right? Like every college situation isn't for everybody. And so you have to choose what makes sense for you. But a lot of folks don't even consider HBCUs because we live in a country that has centralized, mainstream white experiences as the ultimate every time. And so it's really important that folks who have gone to HBCUs and folks who have taught at HBCUs, that they express not only to the young folks coming up that they went to an HBCU, but that they are very loud about going to HBCUs in the corporate spaces they're in the leadership spaces they're in. Like one of my very good friends, she's been in corporate marketing for years, and she got into Cornell. She went to Hampton, okay, and she got the education that she needed to end up right in the same spaces as the people who went to Cornell. Now, for her, Cornell wasn't the right experience. For someone else, it may have been right for them. But for her, Hampton was the right experience. And she was very loud about it when she was in her corporate spaces about the fact that, yes, y'all, I went to an HBCU and I'm right here with you. And the truth is that, you no matter what, I will say, no matter where you go, you have to tailor your college experience to you. I think sometimes a lot of folks don't understand that when you go to school, you are not only a student, but you are also the one driving your journey. So remember, to everyone who's watching, your advisors have so many students that they got to care about. You got one. You got one student you got to care about, and that's you. And so your advisors should simply be helping you along your way. They shouldn't be the ones that are making your path for you. When I was in school, I learned that book backwards and forwards. I learned about the admission process backwards and forwards. I learned about all the needs that I needed to have to get out of there, because I was like, I don't want to be misled even by accident by somebody, and then have to do another year. So, that's just, in my opinion, I feel like it really is about being able to be loud and proud about going to an HBCU in any space you're in, whether you are a 20-year alum, or whether you just got out, you just got outside, or whether you're still there and you got, siblings and family and friends who are making decisions right now on where they want to go.
Listen,
and I love that, because I love the fact you're loud and proud, because as alumni and as students, we are going to always represent, and I'm an equal opportunity. I don't care if I'm wearing Bethune-Cookman, Edward Waters, Florida Memorial, Grambling, Howard. Listen, I always tell the school, you send me a shirt, I'll wear it, because I'm going to advertise. I'm to the point, when I travel, I'm on my way to Houston, Texas in the morning. And when I step into that airport, I'm going to have something that says Bethune-Cookman and UNCF and also my fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha. I'm gonna always represent because I need people to know, because it becomes a conversation piece, because it's this kindred spirit. Because once young people start to see what this looks, sounds, and feels like, you know, at some point they'll be like, wait a minute, well, I want some of what he got. I want what some of she got. I want to know what is this energy and this spirit and this love and this admiration that they have, and how can I get some of it?
Community. That's what it is. It's community, and we are severely lacking in that. So we have to get back into that mindset. And you know, the church was at one point a source point for that, and I'm not saying that it isn't anymore, but I feel like we've expanded as a people to different spaces, and HBCUs become another source point for building community and shared experience, and the concept of I am my brother's keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Because that to me is what's truly missing. This individualism, this colonial thought of like, I only got to do me, I only got to worry about me, it's just about me. You know, that really doesn't, that don't fly for Black folks, y'all. That doesn't help us in any way. It might get you some money, but it ain't gonna get you some assistance. But the UNCF can.
Absolutely. And I definitely agree with the community part. Like, it's something about, like, even when I'm wearing this Hillman shirt, shout out to the Chipmunk Chronicles for the shirt, by the way.
Shout out to the Chipmunk Chronicles. They sent me a box too.
Listen.
They sent me a box too.
Shout out to the Chipmunk Chronicles. This shirt, like, even so, like, the fact that, listen.
I'm a little jealous.
Listen.
We passing out boxes?
We can get you the hookup. Okay?
Woo! I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Like, even like, this is even a conversation in itself, like the shirt, like, because you think about a different world and the fact that Hillman was filmed at Spelman and Clark. Like, when I wear Spike Lee joint shirts, like the fact that, you know, Do the Right Thing and Spike Lee is a Morehouse alum. Like, it's a lot of conversations that happen, even with the pieces, even with the Nalia that you wear, because it's something that's like, oh, when did you go? Or, oh, you didn't go? You know somebody who did? When's homecoming? Even homecoming. Like, I love wearing my dad's old Morehouse shirts because my dad graduated. So I'll be styling in my mom jeans with the, listen.
I was in the gym yesterday and I saw somebody walk in this gym with a Honda All-Star Challenge shirt. And I was like, what HBCU? He said, how you know? Because that's an HBCU event. He said, I went to Fisk. Boom, we need to talk. Oh, yeah. My son, I love it, because before my son went to Morehouse, he was in high school. He would wear my stuff. He would wear all, now this is my son right here. And he was, his mother and I met in college, the first day of school, our freshman year. And he would wear all of our Bethune Cookman stuff all through elementary school, middle school, high school, because that was a conversation all about hashtag HBCU bound. I had to come back to that real quick, like, because we always want to make sure we're celebrating our students getting to college, but not only getting to, but helping them get through. Whether we're providing resources through UNCF, through the institution, through the Alumni Association, because alumni are doing some great things, providing donations, resources. Matter of fact, my students know anybody from Cleveland, Ohio. And if I walk onto their HBCU campus, we got a group text. And I'll get on their campus and say, hey, where are my Cleveland students at? All of a sudden, they just pop up from out of nowhere. Mr. Brown, I'm on the yard. I'm taking them to Walmart. I'm taking them to get something to eat. Because we family. Like you said, Amanda, we're community. Once you're part of my community, you're part of my family. I was down in Dillard and Xavier. Student mama said, what do I owe you? You don't owe me nothing. You don't owe me nothing. I'm paying it forward. And I hope that he does the same when it's his turn.
I love that. And it seems like we have a question from Model Cecil White. Please let me know if I said your name correctly. I don't like botching names. Are there any scholarships for Black students who are not attending an HBCU?
Yes, definitely. Again, so you again understand that if you go to our website at uncf.org/scholarships, again, we have students on scholarship at over 1,100 schools across America, and they're not all, and most of these schools, again, we only got 102 HBCUs, but we don't discriminate. Now, understand, according to the Higher Education Act of 1965, HBCUs, we cannot discriminate, even though what was happening to us in 1965. Come on, somebody. What was happening to us, we were told we cannot. So Spelman and Bethune, we couldn't discriminate. We had to be accredited and had to be founded before 1964. So that's the rule. That was the law that gave us this label HBCU, because we were just Negro schools. We were just Negro schools. And so we never discriminate against anybody. Anybody who wants to get a scholarship, wants to get admission, you are more than welcome. Now, there was this white girl in my high school, in my college. She married, white married. She was in the band. She was the first white girl in the marching band. Boy, Mary can hit that 90. Boy, she used to get it. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm not going to hold you, but there's somebody in these comments who has been hoodwinked and bamboozled. And he is continuing, because I see him in here trying to push the rhetoric that Donald Trump has helped HBCUs in a significant fashion in a way that other presidents have not. And I need to be explicitly clear that you need to be able to spot a wolf in sheep's clothing when it's in front of your face, okay? Just because somebody hands out a couple scraps does not mean that they have given you a meal. And the problem is that far too often we run to the table and smile like, thank you, massa. And we need to stop doing that and identify that the chitlins were the scraps. We deserved the whole pig because we done built the whole system and tilled all of the land to grow it. So stop with the madness in these comments. HBCUs in many cases were founded by folks who had the access to found them at the time. They was white. However, they are supported by endowments and presidents and alumnus who have continued to keep them alive when so many have made an effort to kill them. So let's just move on from that. And I don't want to hear no more about that in these comments.
Come on, man. She said that right there. Because that's one thing I'm going to add this in, because, and listen, I know you all have heard this so many times before, and it worries me that it takes it just hurts my soul. Well, why would you want to go to one of those schools? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? We could never, like I said earlier, we could never discriminate. It wasn't us that put the label HBCU on us.
Yep.
The people didn't look like me. It was Lyndon B. Johnson in the United States Congress. People like me was not in the room.
Please.
We weren't there.
Please.
We were just schools because we wanted to do something.
Please.
Back to the very first one, Cheney University in 1837. To the youngest one in 1962, the University of the Virgin Islands. We were just there because we couldn't go no place else.
Say that one more time, please.
We couldn't go anyplace else because you wouldn't let me. But you told us you gotta let everybody else in. So how dare you say those schools?
So that being said, hashtag HBCU bound, be proud, rep it, let folks know the UNCF is avidly giving folks access to taking their education to another level. I'm a huge believer, like I said in the beginning, that our education is a key component to our liberation. And so I hope to see many of you all truly considering HBCUs as the next place for you to advance your education, not only in your mind and intellect, but in yourself and your spirit.
Absolutely. And please, feel free to post pics of your acceptance letters and tag UNCF. We want to celebrate you. We want to make sure you're seen. We want to make sure that you're heard. Make sure that you post a pic up in your sweatshirt with your acceptance letter, frame it, laminate it, get your family together, your friends. We want to make sure that we celebrate you, and make sure to hashtag HBCU bound and follow the UNCF page as well.
I want to say real quick also, when you get to campus, let us know the journey. Keep doing the hashtag HBCU bound. And you want to learn more about HBCU, I'm going to do this quick little shameless look. I just saw his name go through the comments real quick. I want to shout out my good brother, Maurice Jordan, who started a company called the HBCU Trivia Game. Let me tell you something. This game right here, it's like playing the game of life or Monopoly. OMG, it's got all kind of trivia questions. Everything that you think you want to know is all right here on this game board. Boy, we have a good time. This is a good family night. If you want to learn more about HBCUs, it's a great piece. I had to just show him some love. I just saw his name pop up in the chat. He ain't paid me for that, but you owe me, Maurice.
Listen, I definitely enjoyed this conversation, but before we go, I want to make sure to leave everybody with something. So I want to ask each of you, and Anthony, I'm going to start with you. In celebration of enrollment, why do you think it's important to celebrate students making the decision to attend HBCUs and college in general? whether it's a PWI, grade school, anything, and the best advice you would give incoming freshmen. And then after Anthony answers, I'm going to pass it to you, Amanda.
I'm going to say this. For decades, we've been celebrating that a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And we have been remaining on the hearts of UNCF, enabling us to raise more than $5 billion to help more than 500,000 students, counting not just those who are currently in school, but those who have graduated, to thrive, to excel, to do something great, to be leaders, not of tomorrow, but of today. UNCF has been helping students get to and through college, and I'm excited to be a part of what we call the National Alumni Council to really support and rally behind this initiative. And thank you. It didn't even matter if you went to a public or private HBC. We just wanted to celebrate students going to Black colleges, bottom line. And so we want to continue to celebrate, remind students and families, again, to go to uncf.org if you want to learn more about the programs, scholarships, you want to make a donation, you want to volunteer, you want to support the UNCF Walk coming up real soon. Just get involved. Let us know.
And Amanda, what about you?
Repeat the question.
No problem. So what is the importance of celebrating students that are not only going to HBCUs, but college in general? And what advice would you give incoming freshmen?
Well, the importance is, of course, to encourage them to, continue on this journey and to encourage others to pursue this path of higher education and doing so in a space that is being created particularly for their safety and for their enhancement. And I'll wait. And the advice that I would give them is the advice that I gave some advice, and I'll give some more advice, which is, to stay the course. To stay the course. It's gonna be jumpy. It's gonna be growing pains, but ultimately, when I say stay the course, that doesn't mean stay where you're not wanted. That doesn't mean stay where you're uncomfortable. That means I'm about to be in this elevator with you. That means that you need to stay vigilant in what's best for you and informed so that you can pivot when you need to and stay on your course.
Absolutely. And with that, I want to thank everybody today for joining in on this incredible conversation. Anthony, Amanda, y'all have both been so amazing. Make sure to follow the UNCF social media handle at UNCF. Make sure to follow Amanda and always use the hashtag HBCUbound. We want to see your acceptance letters. We want to see you posted up on campus when you go visit for updates on the campaign. Also, make sure to follow the hashtag and also make sure to follow us at Essence Girls United to stay up to date on all things Black Girl Magic and Girls United related. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining in on this conversation. I hope y'all have a great.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank